Throughout the weekend, you are going to be ignited by some incredible guest experts who are going to step onto the stage and rock your world. And I do have one of them who's going to be coming up, and she's going to be talking I'm going to let her tell you what she's talking about. I'm going to tell you about Kelly. She was up here earlier. She's one of our sponsors. And this is my favorite thing, she's a high priestess. Who wants to claim that for themselves? Yeah, we do. And she's a healer. And she specifically guides women into their divine feminine. So good. Oh, into their divine feminine power. Even better. So that they can activate the goddess within. And this is why I wanted to have her come and speak this evening, because it's like this invitation, and we're tapping into our own divine feminine power. She works in Thailand. When are you leaving? December? Oh my gosh. Where she welcomes women into deep healing immersions or retreats. All I'm doing is like, yes, please. So let's bring up the incredible and amazing Kelly Rattanee with a huge standing ovation.
The few gentlemen that are here, and they are gentlemen, I will just add that in. So thank you everyone for being here. This is remarkable. What I'm going to touch on, and Brittany, can you do me a favor? Can you give me a 5-minute warning, please? I could talk for about 36 days straight. That's real, and I will just pee into a corner by myself. So what I wanted to touch on is, I think one of the biggest challenges that people face is the idea that they think they know who they are. And they think that when they get to a certain point in life, and we all have an age, maybe it was like, oh, I'm 25 and I should be married and I should own a house, and we're shitting all over ourselves, all over the place. And what ends up happening is we create a narrative for ourselves that isn't honest and it isn't who we are. We also borrow narratives from our mothers and our fathers and our brothers and our uncles and societal norms and women that came before us and the women that come after us, magazines and the Kardashians and all the other bullshit out there. Thank you, sister. Because that's what it is. It is all bullshit. Even your loving mother, even your loving father, your loving friends, their perception of you is the way that they see themselves. Your perception of the women around you or the way that you see yourself. Get clear on who you are. How do you do that? Step 1, sign up for my free... No, I'm just joking. I'm joking. Don't do that. Don't do that. The email will come 4 years late, and you'll be like, shit, lady, I fucking already figured it out. Sorry, I swear sometimes. Sometimes I swear. The only way that I found in my busy, and let me tell you, my life was busy. I was the queen of busy, the queen of perfect, the queen of happy, the queen of joy, the joy bringer, the fun bringer, the singer, the songer, the dancer. Everyone loved me, but me. Oh yes, everyone loved me. And I don't mean that in the most egotistical way, but I would find a way for you to love me. If you like horses and I hate horses, I'm riding a horse. I am climbing on that horse and I'm going to ride the shit out of that horse and I'm going to love it, I'm going to groom it, I'm going to fucking buy it. And now you and I are horse best friends. But I actually don't like horses, and it's no offense to horse people or horses whatsoever. They're just too big and too smart and too powerful for me. That's too much for me. I think I'm intense. They're like, brr. So I was all of it for everyone, and I was none of it for myself. And it took a long, very exceptionally and dramatically painful 10 years, which I will elaborate on further should you wish to hear it. Or it's all over, my social media. I talk about it quite openly there. To figure that out. To figure out that my busyness was actually killing me. That my perfection was destroying me. It was a prison that I lived in. And I decided I didn't want to be there anymore. The birth of my daughter quite literally blew me wide open. Yeah. Right here, all the way across. Like my vagina was like so wrapped up in shame that it was like, that baby was not coming out of there for like love nor money. Like, she was just like, look, lady, like, you are so closed off. Like, no one's coming out of here. You're crazy? Like, call that surgeon and get him in here and like cut open your abdomen so I can get out of here. You're nuts. She loves me now, obviously, because I bought her a pony. No, I'm just joking. But I was so imprisoned in perfection and fear that I couldn't let people in. My friendships were pleasant, because I bought horses and I did all the things and I agreed with your politics and I watched bullshit baseball and I blah, 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 blah. Like I did it all. I literally could have a conversation about anything. Did I like any of it? Not particularly. I certainly don't like baseball. I don't care that you just bought winter tires. Like, it's super important and you should all have winter tires, but like, I don't want to talk about it. And so I finally realized that like in all of this madness, that I was actually shrouded in misery, but knew how to get out. I knew because I read all the books, I followed all the blogs, I bought this 12 free steps to enlightenment. I paid for that over and over and over and over and over again. I was so overly coached and so underly healed. And if you had a program for me, I was buying it. I was buying it. I was lining up. I was doing payment plans. I was like selling my soul to do it. But there was a missing piece for me. And the missing piece was I was still attached to the stories that I was holding on to as being true. The stories that like, oh, well, she's just so intense. She's just hyper. She can't pay attention. Oh, it's a good thing you're so pretty because you'll never do well in school. Oh, yeah. My principal, when I was 14 years old, said to me, and that might sound, people are like, oh, that's not, you're pretty, oh, that's so, like, but like to say that to a girl, it's a good thing you're so pretty because you're not very good at school. It's a good thing, I was married once before. I'm married to a marvelous man who has $0, by the way, in case anyone wants to know. I was married to a man who had a lot of money before, and you know what people used to say to me? What a magical life you have. What a magical life you have. Your husband is cheating on you with prostitutes and blowing cocaine up his nose, but your life is magical. Look at how perfect your life is, right? And you start taking it all on, and you like wear these stories like they're your armor, right? And you put on your armor every day of perfection, and you hold on to it. You hold on to all the things that anyone has ever said to you because you don't realize that they're just bullshit. No one ever told you that. No one ever said, hey, darling, Leah, I have insecurities of my own, but I'm going to vomit them all over you as I talk to you. Is that okay? Are you going to be okay with letting that go and releasing that? As your mother, and I have my own insecurities because I'm a human being. As your father, because sometimes I fuck shit up. As your friend who's jealous of you because my mom calls me fat when I go home. Like, no one says those things to us. We just have conversations with people. We absorb what they say. We believe them to be true because we don't know any different. So my invitation to you is to look at the things that you are holding true about yourself, even the things that seem good, right? How many people here have been told they're amazing, right? And you're like, shit, yeah, like walking on cloud 9. But you're attached to it. Right? So then when you don't feel amazing, and like, let's be real, like there are days that are less than amazing. There are days when things are hard because the world right now has some hard things. That's why you're all here. Because you want to try and erase and heal some of those hard things. But we can't do it if we feel unworthy. We can't do it if we believe that healers need to be starving. We can't do it if we're afraid to be seen because someone told us once upon a time that our nose was ugly, or we were too short, or we were too fat, or we were a slut, or we were whatever. Or you're stupid, or that's make-believe, that's silly, that's nonsense. How are you going to run a business like that? Like, who's heard that? How are you going to run a business? How are you going to heal the world? How are you going to run a business like that? And it's just like, just fucking sit down and watch me. Yeah, if you're so worried about it, why don't you come and sit with me in Thailand, and then like let's dig into some shit. Then tell me how I'm going to run my business, right? Because it's not their business. Whenever someone is talking to you, they're speaking from their own place of insecurities and their own fears. They're not doing it on purpose, right? They're not like, hey, shit, how can I ruin this girl's day today? I mean, there's some people like that for sure. Like like the in-park guy might get a kick out of giving you a parking ticket because someone didn't buy him a dog, right? We all have things. And I don't mean to discredit that. Like the things that we think are silly, right? It's just like, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that, my mom didn't stand up for me that one time when I was being bullied. It doesn't matter that I didn't get into that program that I really hoped and dreamed to. It doesn't matter that it all matters. And I'm not trying to sit here and make you all victims. You've all been victims of something, I know that for sure, because you're all women, and that is a fact. That is an absolute fact. I'm not asking you to revisit that victimhood unless you need to. I'm not asking you to live there, but I am asking you to acknowledge that everything matters. Take your lives seriously. This is it. In the grand scheme of it, we are like a drop in the bucket. But that drop can turn into something really, really incredible if we own our power and we allow it. Owning your power is being honest with yourself and saying, hey, this is the shit that happened to me. It sucked. I'm allowed to grieve about it. I'm allowed to talk about it. I'm allowed to cry about it. I'm allowed to dance about it. I'm allowed to be enraged. There's a word you don't hear very often for women, enraged. You are allowed to be that. It doesn't mean that you live there. You don't have to get stuck there. You can come out of it, right? You have to make that choice though, and sometimes it's a hard choice. Sometimes the easier choice is like the bathroom floor in your fucking postnatal granny panties. So that was a pretty easy choice. Wasn't a pretty choice. It was certainly an easy choice. You do not have to live in victimhood, but you are allowed to acknowledge the victim. You have to. Otherwise, what the fuck? You're just basically dishonoring what she went through. Honor it. Don't be rude to her. Don't be rude to the places in your life that were shitty. That's, A, it's rude. B, it will carry with you. So I have been given my 5-minute warning, so my invitation to you is to focus on something right now, and you might cry, that's cool, I like crying, I'm really good at crying. You're gonna find something that needs, to be let go, that you've been carrying around, and letting go, by the way, doesn't disown it, it doesn't dismay it, it doesn't disappear it, it's still there. You're just gonna let it go for this weekend. You're gonna let it go because you need to be here. The world needs you to start shining your light. The world is a hurting place. I think we can all agree upon that. I don't want to be a downer, but the world hurts, and it needs love. And if we don't stand in our power and we can't be seen and heard, we don't get to share that love. It's pretty hard to share love when you're hermiting yourself in your home, and I get that. I fucking love hermiting. But it's enough. Enough is enough. The world needs us, and we need to rise in our power. So I am going to use this. This is my drum. This is the first drum I've ever actually made. I'm a shamanic healer, so drum and vibration is very important. And I have actually never used this drum before, but I feel particularly called to use it now. So I cannot drum and microphone at the same time. I know, wouldn't it be nice if I had maybe, I don't know, let's not try. It'll end up in my crotch, and we'll have a different kind of conversation. So, what I invite you to do is place both of your feet firmly on the floor. I'm going to invite you to find something that you really, really have been looping around over and over and over again. So what we're going to do is we're going to close our eyes, and I'm going to pick a rhythm, and you are going to envision yourself walking down a path to greet this thing, this shame, this anger, this whatever it is. And you are going to greet this thing, and all you're going to do is Care Bear love the shit out of it. Does everyone know what a Care Bear is? Yes, thank you. You are going to Care Bear love this thing, and then I'm going to invite you back out of the path. So when you're ready to come back out of the path, the drum beat is going to speed up, and you are going to whiz yourself backwards, and then you're going to land as a goddess, free and clear of shame and anger, worthy of divine love, worthy of divine power, and worthy of a voice that needs to be heard. So ladies, I invite you to close your eyes, or you can keep them open if you wish. I'm going to be turning off the mic, and then I will see you shortly on the other side of attachment. Please open your eyes. Please stand up. Stand firm on both your feet, strong in the knowledge that you have enough love to give, you have enough love to serve, and that you are worthy of doing it from a place of open-heartedness, free of shame, free of anger, free of resentment, free of comparison. You have the right to earn a lush and beautiful living with the gifts that you have. You have the right to be seen and heard, respected and loved, here, always and forever. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. Ladies, welcome as a goddess. Thank you for letting go, and thank you for letting me be a part of your journey. Blessings. Namaste.
Thank you.